What's up, my people, family? Welcome back to the cave. Listen, if you was keeping up on Florida, you know, Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, then you probably know, I didn't know his name till now. His name is Lieutenant Dan, the guy in Florida that's on a boat. He refused to get off of it during Helene, and then he said, I'm staying here for Milton too. He survived, and he had this thing with Aiden. Ross said he's going to put him, like, give him a kick deal and everything. And then he said, oh, Aiden never hit him up. So I heard that there's more things getting worse. I heard he used the N-word on his first stream. Aiden Ross gave him $100,000, some GoFundMe things. So we got this video, a couple minutes long. We're just going to look at it. Let me know what you think. I'll let you know what I think about it. Let's see what's happening.
All right, guys, I just want to get on here to address the Lieutenant Dan GoFundMe situation, as I received numerous death threats and thousands of hate messages and threats to my family, friends.
Now that's...
Yeah, I remember him. He probably about to tell you. I ain't listen. Remember, I don't watch these videos. But that's the guy who said he got a GoFundMe for him, and that he was just waiting until it was all fit and, you know, everything finished, and he was going to give it to Dan.
That's the guy responsible for Lieutenant Dan's fame. I'll get to him in a second. There is still a lot of drama circulating around Lieutenant Dan. Many people are still a little concerned about Lieutenant Dan's past history with all the mugshots that came out, but right now the main focus still seems to be what is going on with the GoFundMe, why is there a different name on the GoFundMe, what even is Lieutenant Dan's real name? Well, finally, we have everything cleared up.
People then fell in love with Joe after a few interviews and were begging me to make him a GoFundMe.
Joe, we call him Joe. Dan or Joe?
GoFundMe, so that is what I did. The GoFundMe was set at $2,500, and all was to get him a new boat and maybe some money for some food and a scooter for transportation. It was never supposed to get to where it is now. I mistakenly put the GoFundMe under my friend's name as a way to get the $2,500 out quick and give it to him and be done with it.
And the reason why this is all relevant is because all of a sudden you had a counter viral video pretty much calling out the fact that, look, Dan, he's not even using his real name in the GoFundMe. Where's the GoFundMe money going? Watch this clip.
First off, this man has a GoFundMe with over $20,000 in it. He's not homeless, period. He lives on a boat, except for the short year.
I wouldn't say that. He's not homeless. He live on a boat. Did she look at that boat? That boat was barely hanging on. And after two major hurricanes, I doubt if that was still livable, or like, it was barely livable when you seen it. It was small and cranky. Come on. I can't let you get that one. He was homeless. I mean, he had a shelter, but homeless.
That he spent in prison for beating a EMT with a violin. His GoFundMe is under a different name than the one that he's using in the daily press.
Maybe he don't use his real name, like he said. Aliases: Joseph, John, Malinowski. What up? Joseph L. Yeah.
And the one that he was arrested in. So it's really hard to tell who exactly he is. But what I have found is that his Facebook page lists himself as a digital creator. That's right, a digital creator.
Now, to be fair, that content creator actually ended up getting a lot of hate, and a lot of people were like, ma'am, he's homeless, he lives on a boat, so most likely this guy doesn't have any identification, and in fact, we finally do get some clarification as to what is going on, because it looks like Dan...
Yeah, it feels, I don't know, we'll see, but it feels like she's just looking for something to go viral for. Like, she just did a lot of snooping. She ain't asked him no questions or whatever.
Actually doesn't have any identification.
I have done all the research and have reached out to Tampa police, who are willing to help Joe get an ID and expedite this process so we can retrieve the other $35,000 in GoFundMe. I have retrieved all the money that was sent to my friend, and I've gotten $7,000 in cash, and which will I be giving to him today.
Okay, so I did some top tier research, and it literally only took me about 5 seconds to see whether or not GoFundMe will allow you to raise funds for somebody else, or as they say, can you raise funds for someone else and designate them as the...
But if he doesn't have ID, then he probably doesn't have a bank account. He's homeless. How many homeless people keep bank accounts up?
Beneficiary of the fundraiser, and it looks like GoFundMe does allow you to do that. And look, that makes complete sense, because a lot of times you'll see GoFundMes of somebody super sick, or they're terminally ill and they need help, so obviously they don't have access to the computer, or they don't have the means to do the GoFundMe. So again, this is actually rather common, but I think this is where the gray area is, and I think this is where people
probably don't have a bank
on
account.
The internet really are almost getting sick of this. We all know those clips on the internet where you have the famous YouTuber or the TikToker, or you might even have mediocre content creators who are helping homeless people. They're giving them $300. They're giving them $1,000. They're going to give them the best time of their life. We're going to get you a haircut. We're going to do this. But for anybody who knows the back end of how social media works, to include myself, you can see the numbers on those videos and be like, wow, they're making like 5 times the return on their investment. And they're helping more and more homeless people, but they're making more and more money. To be fair, though, this content creation style is sort of dying out. But again, I think a lot.
So what? Doctors make money too, and they do surgeries. Heart surgeons make a lot of money too, and they help people stay alive. Lawyers make a lot of money too, and they help people stay out of jail or free innocent people. I hate that. Like, in order to do good, you have to take a loss. Like if I give you some money. And then I have to take a loss. Like it's like that saying, no good deed goes unpunished. But if a good deed's rewarded, it's stupid. Like that person would have no money. It's like if a millionaire, if Mr. Beast wanted to come and give me $1 million and say, walking down the street giving random people $1 million, and then he makes $10 million off of that, so what? He didn't have to do it. Like that's stupid. You got to take a loss in order for it to be good. Oh, he went out and gave his home away to these homeless people and put them in there. Oh, and he lost out. He could be written that out. Oh, he's such a good guy. But if you say, hey, he put homeless people in there and he it's on social media, what you talking about it for? Why you gotta tell us? Do that? Nobody want to see that. But they all sharing videos and fight videos and people dying on X and TikTok and Instagram and people, oh, look, watch this video. People sending everybody video. Oh, watch what he do to him. Oh, watch this girl get dragged. Oh, but God forbid he's helping somebody and he made money off of it. Oh my God.
A lot of us have seen this happen, and a lot of us are a little skeptical on whether or not it's ethical. However, for maybe the first time ever in internet history, well, I don't want to say the first time, this guy was actually trying to help Lieutenant Dan. And look, Lieutenant Dan is such a rebel. I don't think he cared either way. He was obviously really upset about the Aiden Ross thing because he was promised money. However, this guy was not really looking for clout. He just happened to be getting a lot of help from this TikToker, getting a lot of help from the internet, and it looks like Lieutenant Dan was actually really thankful about this.
Once I cut you off, you're done. Sorry. All right. I got it. You're done.
Okay, so Lieutenant Dan has officially entered into the internet realm where this is his job. And this clip right here was him saying the N-word with an A, not an ER. For some reason, people care about that. But the reason why I'm pointing this out is because you're going to see, in my opinion, Lieutenant Dan taken out of context. He's probably going to get taken advantage of. And a lot of people are going to use Lieutenant Dan to make money. Look, I'll be very transparent.
If they use him to make money, but he makes money, is it even wrong? Like, If you're a singer or a rapper and I become your manager and I find you a gig and I make money, I get 10% off of what you make, and I go out and find business that you didn't, what is wrong with that? You know, actors have agents, and actors go out and find their own work, but if the agent finds the work, a lot of times the agent takes 10%. A lot of them in deals like that. Now, some of them in deals where they take everything no matter who finds it, but most of the time, if the agency finds you a gig, then they get cut. If you find it yourself, then you get a cut. It's just ridiculous.
I am also making money on Lieutenant Dan, but I think it's very important that we are ethical about what we see. This is a man who's been in and out of prison. He said, look, I used to do drugs. I have a lot of problems. I used to live in the streets. I literally live on a boat. What do you want me to do? And I think this right here is where the internet absolutely destroys people's lives. Even though there are a lot of great intentions for people like Lieutenant Dan, this business can be rather harsh. I'm not going to say it's like Hollywood or like a cult, but again, the fact that one of the first clips we're seeing of Lieutenant Dan starting to do live streams or come out to the public is him saying the N-word, I already know off the bat things are...
That's how I heard about him. I was like, what? He's streaming? I thought Aiden Ross left him, but that's what I heard. This is what got it.
Maybe going to get a little worse for Lieutenant Dan, considering he's not that ad friendly, if you will, and that's great. I think people want a raw sense of who this...
But he's on Kick, so it don't. Aiden Ross and them ain't that ad friendly. They take him to Vegas, take a Lieutenant Dan to Vegas for gambling, whatever it is. Now he's homeless, so hopefully he ain't got no vices, no drug habits, and all that money go down the drain and nobody know it. That's the thing. You got to get a money manager. You are literally been homeless already. You're probably going to be able to get no matter how much money it is, especially if you ain't used to having that money. He'll take money and just You know what I mean? Go buy a hotel, get a hotel for a month, and it's $20,000 for the hotel instead of going to get a nice 1-bedroom apartment.
Man is. And look, you can't fault the guy. He literally came from prison, from the streets. He said, I've had a rough past. What do you expect? So maybe that is why Aiden Ross wants him on Kick. And I think Kick, I don't actually go on Kick if I'm being honest with you. I think Kick is a little more loose as far as what you can and can't do. So again, I think it might be a little unfortunate for Lieutenant Dan what might be ahead of him. But at the end of the day, he's most likely going to be making a lot of money. So it doesn't look like the drama has ended with Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah,
and it might...
What does that mean? Like, unfortunately. Like, okay, so you say, hey, you know what? It's going to be a lot. I'm going to make a lot of money, but you know what? I'm going to ruin my life. He's literally homeless, living on a boat that's barely floating. It don't matter if they make $1 billion off this guy and he makes $1 million. He is better off than where he was. And then about the N-word, most probably, I mean, come on, he's homeless. You know, homeless people like, he probably had young people come and mess with him. Come on, like. They probably gonna give him a pass, a rapper or whatever, Florida, maybe Kodak Black could do a stream with him, Aiden Ross could get him to do a stream with him, and he'll be forgiven or whatever. I don't know.
It might only get worse. It might only get better. We'll see what happens.
I'm sad to see where this has all gone to, and I really hope that this can all be resolved and we can all just move on with our lives.
And look, I'll be honest with you as well. I'll be very transparent with you. I think this is a guy who just saw somebody floating around on a boat. He had one leg. He was an interesting character. And I do believe that he just wanted to make a TikTok about it, document it, and push it out to the world. I don't think there was any ill intention. I don't think he wanted Lieutenant Dan as a personal bank account to make a ton of money because, again, he did the GoFundMe and the guy is still making content on Lieutenant Dan like it's obviously working for him. That is fine. I'm doing the same thing. I think a lot of people are because it's an interesting...
That's true. I didn't even think about that. This YouTuber, and go follow him. We watching this video. You can go follow him. T Supply, his name right here. Go give him a join, a follow. But he making money too.
But look, it is really unfortunate, and this is what the internet does. You do something good, a lot of bad comes out of it, a lot of good comes out of it. But look, at the end of the day, I think this was all done with good intentions, and it looks like Lieutenant Dan is at least getting the help that he needs.
Yes, sir.
Florida is a...
Things happen, but he's obviously, I think he's in a better place so far. It looked like he's happier. He's on his first kick. I'm sure if he becomes good at it, we're going to hear more about him, right? Maybe he'll start doing some vlog stuff or whatever that is. But let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm glad he's okay. I'm happy. I swear, when I seen him on that news station, I was like, after Milton, he going to be gone. He got lucky. We're going to hear about, or we're not going to hear from him again, or they ain't going to find his body. His boat going to be upside down. I guess it survived. I like to see the old boat. He probably got a new one now, but I like to see it. Anyway, to the next time on The Cave, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. I always reply. Boom.